In Cleveland, Ohio, where the Detroit Pistons face the Cleveland Cavaliers at about 8:48 p.m. this evening. Rodney Stuckey of the Detroit Pistons. Okay. Thank you. In Cleveland, Ohio, where the Detroit Pistons were in town facing the Cavaliers, Rodney Stuckey of the Detroit Pistons at about 8:48 this evening collapsed on his way to the bench. He remained there for about 12 minutes while EMT personnel administered an EKG, gave him oxygen, and he was taken to the Cleveland Clinic via hospital. He remains there, where I have been told his vital signs are stable, he is breathing on his own, and he is conscious. I've also been told that he doesn't have any previous medical condition with similar symptoms and that they continue to observe him, and he will remain at the Cleveland Clinic. The Detroit Pistons will go from the arena to the airport, where they will fly home. Certainly a very somber mood for the second half of this game. Everybody doing everything they can. Danny Ferry, the GM of the Cavs, certainly doing everything he can to communicate with the Stuckey family and give him all the information possible. In Cleveland, I'm Heather Cox, ESPN. Could be better. Thank you. In Cleveland, Ohio, where the Detroit Pistons are in town facing the Cavaliers this evening. Frigger. All right. Anytime. In 3, 2, 1. In Cleveland, Ohio, where the Detroit Pistons were in town facing the Cavaliers at about 8:48 p.m. this evening, Detroit Piston Rodney Stuckey collapsed on his way to the bench, where he remained there for 12 minutes while EMT personnel administered an EKG heart test, as well as gave him oxygen. He was then taken out on a stretcher and driven via ambulance to the Cleveland Clinic, where he remains. They are continuing to observe him. I have been told that his vital signs are stable, his condition is stable, he is breathing on his own, and he is conscious. They will keep him there for observation as the rest of his Pistons team goes from the arena to the airport to fly home, and he is certainly in the entire team's thoughts. In Cleveland, I'm Heather Cox, ESPN. In Cleveland, Ohio, where the Detroit Pistons were in town to play the Cavaliers, now midway through the third quarter at about 8:48 p.m. this evening. One more time. Sorry, guys. In Cleveland, Ohio, where the Detroit Pistons are in town to face the Cavaliers, midway through the third quarter at 8:48 this evening, Rodney Stuckey collapsed on the Detroit Pistons bench, where he remained for 12 minutes as EMT personnel administered an EKG heart test as well as oxygen. He was then carried off in a stretcher, put in an ambulance, where he was driven to the Cleveland Clinic about a mile away. He remains there for observation and testing. Now, I have been told that his vital signs are stable. He is breathing on his own and conscious at the Cleveland Clinic. At the conclusion of the game, both teams... Shit. Sorry. Golly. Rookie. All right. In Cleveland, Ohio, where the Detroit Pistons were in town to face the Cavaliers midway through the third quarter at 8:48 this evening, Detroit Piston Rodney Stuckey collapsed on the bench, where he remained for 12 minutes while EMT personnel administered an EKG heart test as well as oxygen. He was then taken via stretcher and the ambulance to the Cleveland Clinic about a mile away, where he remains for observation. I have been told that his vital signs are stable, he is breathing on his own and conscious. I've also been told that he doesn't have any previous medical history with similar symptoms, and he will stay there overnight as the team goes straight from the arena to the airport to go back to Detroit. At the conclusion of this game, both teams huddled up at midcourt in prayer, certainly hoping the best for Rodney Stuckey. In Cleveland, I'm Heather Cox, ESPN. Okay, was that cool? Thanks for your patience, guys. You want me to go to the locker room? Sure, if you guys want me to. Locker room, the Piston locker room. Okay, thanks. Thank you.
Nice job. You did a great job.
I appreciate it. Mike, thank you. I'll see you soon. This is all right. This is Heather online getting closer.